Welcome to PEP Talk. Everyone needs one. With Lerone Coach Jennings and Brian Smith discussing Chattanooga from the city to the community you live in, featuring action plays, justifiable results, and keys to success. Brought to you by the City of Chattanooga Department of Youth and Family Development, creating ways for everyone to help parent the city. And now your host, Coach Lerone Jennings and Brian Smith.
Hello, Chattanooga, and welcome to PEP Talk. Everybody needs one. And we thank you for tuning in and being with us this evening. And we hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And we want to encourage you to always be thankful. Not only during Thanksgiving season, this holiday season, we'll be thankful every day for your blessings. And we're glad you tuned in to be here with us, Parent Education Program, and get your pep talk and your groove on here at Groove 93. And what's going on, Brian? You doing all right? You had a great Thanksgiving?
Well, Coach, I did have a great Thanksgiving, and I certainly appreciate you invite me to come on here this evening, as always. And we hope that everyone out there had a great Thanksgiving, too. And, Coach, what about you? Because I know family is very important. I got a chance to head home to Mississippi and spend some time with my family. And how was Thanksgiving with your family?
Man, it was great. It was really great.
This is why we need those web cameras in here so we can see you kind of rubbing your belly there.
You can see I'm swole. I'm swole about 5 to 8 pounds more.
And I know you're still reeling a little bit from some of those football games that happened over the weekend. I had to make a mention of that.
Well. Well, you know, the best of us have to be humbled every now and then. And Alabama's turn came up this weekend.
Well, it's an exciting program, and of course, you know, they'll be back in it. They're not completely out of it. There's still a chance, but, you know, they'll be around for many more years to come. So, but we've got a great show here this evening for PEP Talk, again, Parent Education Programming here on Groove 93, and we appreciate everyone joining us in this with us here this evening. If anyone has a question, you're more than welcome to give us a call. The request line is 642-9393. Again, if you have any questions or any great comments here, it's 642-9393. We've got a great program in line for tonight here, and it's all about great health care and how important it is for healthy kids, as well as healthy kids and learning, how those coincide with each other. And we're glad to have the folks from here from the Hamilton County Health Department, and especially the TENNderCare Department there, exactly what that is, as well as a public health educator that's going to be joining us this evening. We'll also hear from the Foster Grandparent Program, and I love this program. Billy Wright's going to be joining us here a little bit later on in the show to talk about how these volunteers go out 20 hours a week, and we have over 100 of them that are helping kids all across several counties here in southeast Tennessee. Plus, we'll hear from one of our quarterbacks, Butch Leftwich from Washington Hills Center, way out there on Highway 58 in Harrison, and he's got hopefully 2 young ladies. They're coming in from softball practice, but recently signed to head off to college, and it's a great story with them. So a great show for us all here this evening, Coach. And, of course, as we always like to kick it off here with Coach's opening play.
It's time for this week's action play.
Let's go! Come on!
All right, opening play for this evening. Hey, Brian, we're always trying to encourage our listening audience and our family and friends that's out there to understand what we're trying to do in our centers and throughout the city with our literacy programs to help our young people get knowledge and to learn to be literate, to be educated, to be better prepared to enter into the workforce, college, technical school, military, whatever their dreams are and aspirations. And we want to help them to understand what it's like and how important it is to pursue getting knowledge. By that, what I mean, it's better to fill one's head. And a lot of times young people want to go for the money right away. And it's better to get that education, even if you're going for the money, and you need the money, of course. But get that education. Go and get that education right away. And it's better to get the education rather than filling your pocket right away, because if somebody try to take that education, they can't. Fill your head with knowledge and wisdom and the education that you need. And parents, if you had to make sacrifices by earning money, along the way to take care of the needs of the family. You have an opportunity to go back through our centers and get more literate and go back to school and get your education as well. We are there to help you along the way. A lot of parents are getting educated along with the students and pursuing your goals in education. And education can never be stolen from you, can never be taken away. And Mary Walker was 117 years old when she learned how to read. And her goal and aspiration was to learn how to read so she could learn how to read the Bible. And that's a great success and inspirational story. Hey, get out there and get the knowledge that you need. Get the education that you need to pursue your goals and aspirations. Don't give up and don't give in. Get knowledge. You'll need it no matter what you decide to do, and whatever you pursue in life, you'll need the education to get there.
Outstanding opening play here, and of course I can contest to just money doesn't last forever. You can see that from just shopping over the weekend, but education does. And we are honored and blessed to have the folks here from the Hamilton County Health Department, and we'd like to welcome in here for the first quarter of PEP Talk. We have Vanessa Montgomery, who is the TENNderCare Supervisor, and you may have heard of TENNderCare in the news quite a bit here, and it's a wonderful program benefiting several youth here in Hamilton County and beyond, as well as Keitra Commons, who is with the Health Department as well, and her title is the Public Health Educator. Both these young ladies joining us here this evening for PEP Talk. Talk a little bit about some of the great services and great programs you have out there, and also the key to how health and learning sort of coincide with each other. As we all know, number one, if you miss a number of days of school, then you're not going to be able to learn everything in your classroom. But of course, it starts well before that. And ladies, we appreciate you joining us here this evening on PEP Talk.
Thank you for having me.
I have to come a little bit closer to the microphone here.
Thank you.
Hey, Brian, before we get started,
Yeah.
I thought these was high school students when they walked in the door. I can't believe that. Well, they look awfully young. What have they been doing?
Well, they work
so
with the
youthful looking.
They work with the health department, so they know all the rules. They know all the techniques here to stay to stay healthy. Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's awesome. Tell us about the TENNderCare Program. What is that all about?
Well, basically, TENNderCare is a full comprehensive medical program. It's like TENNcare for children birth to age 21. And so they are entitled, as long as they're TENNcare eligible, to a variety of health services annually to keep them in good health, to keep them informed about all current situations regarding their health, and just to make them have a long and lasting life. So there are 7 key components to what we in our office call a well child checkup,
Okay.
or the early and periodic screening, diagnosis and testing. So that's a long term for EPSDT or the well child checkup. And there are several services that children and young adults and teens are able to get every year for free if they're TENNcare eligible.
And where do they go to get these diagnostic
We
exams?
encourage them to establish a medical home with either a pediatrician or another primary care physician, but all of the area health clinics are able to serve them, and they are able to take the insurance that they have and make sure that they get the exams as needed.
Are most of the families in the community taking full advantage of these services, you think?
No. We have been dealing with this issue for a number of years now, as far as making sure that parents are aware of what they need to have, and to make sure that children are aware and maximize use of the benefits, which is part of why we have the outreach program.
Okay. And so these parents out there that are listening, we just got to keep pushing this. Parents and teachers and all the listening audience and community, we got to keep helping parents and our students out there understand the importance of our students at an early age taking advantage of these health services to get our children healthier. And as a result of that, this will increase their opportunities to be in a better position to learn.
Yes.
And being healthy in school and taking advantage of these
Yes.
services. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about some other services that's being provided for them as well.
Oh, well, under TENNderCare, you also have dental services as well, which is very important. And we ask parents to take their kids to the dentist every 6 months. And a lot of kids, as soon as you turn 1 year old or your first tooth, under TENNderCare, you can take your child to the dentist, which through TENNderCare, we have a dental quest now, which is the dental provider under TENNderCare.
All right. And there's certified dentists and still within the scope of the centers, the health center, and other dentists outside of the health centers are also made available, and it's in the program where students can go as well?
Yes.
Okay. And what about transportation? Or any transportation provided, or if there is a need?
Yes, we actually TENNderCare offers transportation.
So really there's no excuse.
No.
Yeah. And I tell you, this is one of the things that we gotta work harder at as a community, as a part of my role as administrator of youth and family development. And we can talk more about this offline, how we can partner with you guys to make this available through our youth and family development centers around the city. We have 18 of them, how we can help get this information made more available to the families that come through our centers and help get this word out and make it more available through those venues as well. And we got to keep pumping it, keep pushing it out. Is there any other services we need to be communicating to the community out there, and things that we can do and talk about?
Well, currently we have access to free flu vaccines. They're for the uninsured between the ages of 19 and 64, and you can go to any of the health clinics to receive these free vaccines. All you have to do is just be uninsured, and that's pretty much it. And you can get a free flu vaccine. So that is something that the health department as a whole is promoting. And also, one other thing I wanted to say about the coverage and the services that you can get with TENNderCare is we also do have developmental and behavioral screenings, which are also some things that it's a little bit of a touchy subject at sometimes with parents, but if their child is experiencing some type of behavioral issue at school and the parent has posed a question to the physician about this and they have TENNderCare will pay for a developmental and a behavioral assessment to make sure what things are going on with the child, if medications are needed or not, and just different services that they may have access to. But that is a part of TENNCare services.
How do they go about accessing that service?
All they have to do is talk to the primary care physician, and we try to empower parents when they have any kind of interaction with any medical professionals or anyone even in the schools about their children, that they are the best advocates for their kids. So we try to make sure that they are equipped with the knowledge that we have when we have brochures and other educational materials that we distribute, that they can go and just ask the doctor for these types of services, and the doctor can make a referral, which will then be kept in the network of TENNCare, so the parent will not have to have any kind of cost for that service.
So one of the things we need to be thinking about is how to be more aggressive in terms of educating the parents more and more as well. And you all provide educational outreach for the parents too.
Yes, we attend PTA meetings. We do presentations at schools, churches, at the community centers. We're pretty much anywhere. If they are willing to hear our message, we will go and share that with the community, and then we will go from there.
All right. How can people reach you to get you to come to their church or to the center or to the schools or whatever for these educational sessions?
They can contact me directly at the health department. My number is area code 423-209-8337.
Vanessa Montgomery.
Yes.
And Keitra Cummins.
Yes.
All right. Give them that number again.
My number is 423-209-8337, and Keitra's number is 209-8071.
And I understand y'all make home visits?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, our home visiting program, we have part-time outreachers that actually go to the home. We get a list of those who have not completed the EPSDT or the well child checkup each month.
What does those letters mean when you say
EPSDT, early periodic screening, diagnosis, and treatment. Basically, that well child checkup exam with the 7 components.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a long name for it there.
Okay.
But and sometimes it's not that the parent hasn't gotten all completed it. The doctor may have missed a diagnosis code or something like that. But what we do is we get a list based on the child's date of birth, go to the home, knock on the door, and say, hey, we're with TENNderCare. We show that this child has not completed their EPSDTT or well child checkup, this is what's included. These are the benefits that you have.
Okay, we gotta get busy, and get these children in the loop and more
Yes.
served and through these healthcare services. Yeah.
Especially with our one of the ages that we notice on our list the most is the teens and young adults. From 10 all the way up to that 20. It seems like, I don't know, I guess they're older, they become more responsible, but they're not going to the doctor.
And,
Wow.
and I think that's the one of the questions that I have here, because we can all kind of assume the risk that our children have, but in a lot of areas here, there's not necessarily the great access to go and get those healthy foods, to get the fruits and vegetables, and sometimes you're limited to what's available around here. But then you compound that with possibly not getting those well checks, those healthy checks here, and our kids may seem that they're okay and that they're they're going to tough it out here, but what are some of those long-term effects here? And on top of that, you're also fighting obesity that is out there in our kids, which I know is a growing problem as well. So, these services are free for those that are, need them, that require them. But if you don't, there are some unfortunate consequences out there. And what kind of message could we tell the parents here? Because that not only affects the family, but that also affects here in the city here, because we're trying to help parent the city together, but we want to make sure all kids are healthy, all kids have this chance, both learning as well as to be healthy. So what are some of those consequences maybe that are out there?
Well, if they don't take advantage of the benefits while they're still eligible, they could lose the coverage and then incur an enormous amount of fee for services after the fact. So a lot of people tend to think that with certain components of TENNderCare, you are kind of phased off of the system at the age of 18. But with our program, you stay on until the age of 21. And even when you turn 21, there's still a 30 to 45 day lag before you're actually filtered completely out of the system. So we try to promote them just coming in, even if they think they're at that cutoff mark, still go ahead and try it and get the services that you need, because once it's gone, it's gone.
Right.
We have other things that we do in the community that are specifically tailored towards certain age groups to make sure the young adults know. We have presentations called A Dose of Reality, where we let them know what kind of costs they would incur if they did not have this benefit to take advantage of right now. And we just try to promote a healthy community message wherever we go to whatever population that we're sitting in front of.
Okay. And again, when you miss some of these maybe at a very young age here, what are some of those consequences as well? And and I know we're not saying we're going after the parents or anything like that, but our children are precious. They're our lives here. But again, when they're not given the proper treatment, when they're not given this access here, that does affect them even in the short term, but also in that long term. Maybe as they head into school, as they start to those very precious early years of learning. How important are these checkups? And what happens when you miss them?
They're key indicators as to some probably mitigating issues that might surface. So what we try to do is just continue to promote it at different age levels. We go to daycares and we cover all of the age brackets in school because our program does cover birth to 21 years of age. So we just try to keep the message going, make sure that the teachers, doctors, counselors, social workers are informed about the program services that we have and what's available to the residents of Chattanooga as far as the health regarding TENNderCare for their children. So we promote it. We kind of meet them where they are. If they've missed some appointments, that's okay. We try to get them caught up as best as possible, but it's never done in a punitive way nor a way to make them feel that they have not acted in the best interest of their children.
And I think I've just got one last question here. In the news, we hear, Obamacare and all those big changes here. Has any of that impacted what you guys are doing? Has any of your services changed or expected to change here in the near future?
No. My word from Nashville is we're still rolling as usual. So that's what we're still doing. Nashville says you still have the means to do what you do. The state has allocated us a certain amount of money to do our job, and that's what we're going to do until they tell us otherwise.
All right.
All right. Thank you for doing such a great job and helping us get the word out for the good and the benefit of our children. You all keep the faith and keep pushing hard, educating our young and the parents that serve our children. So great job you're doing. Let's keep pushing it, and we'll help you do that.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. Thank you. Keep up the good work. What we got coming up, Brian?
Well, Coach, we're going to take a short break here, but coming up after the break here, we're going to talk about a great volunteer program called the Foster Grandparent Program, where seniors are giving back to youth, helping them with education, and, of course, a whole lot more, and, of course, how you can get involved. We're going to talk more with the Foster Grandparent Program coming up after this short break. Much more pep talk.
All right. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
All of my friends, would you listen to me? Now hear what I say.
Christmas is the time that children's minds are filled with wonder. The lights, the food, the gifts, and the spirit of giving fills the air. But as we all know, there are those children that may not have the opportunity to feel the excitement of Christmas.
We here at the Brewer family would like to ask you to help us make Christmas one to remember for a special group of kids. This year, we've teamed up with the Hamilton County School System, and we have picked 7 boys and 7 girls to be a part of our Brewer Media Christmas Kids.
Each child has written a Christmas wish list, and if you, your company, or your civic or social organization would like to sponsor one of these deserving little children, you can come by the Brewer Media Group studios at 1305 Carter Street, downtown Chattanooga, during office hours and pick up a list.
We also take donations of new toys for those who would just like to spread a bit of holiday cheer.
Hey Chattanooga, this is D.L. Hughley, and I'm asking you to take a little time out to make Christmas special to some well-deserving children. Please support the Brewer Media Christmas Kids.
There is nothing like the smile of a child on Christmas Day. Please give.
Groove 93 and Citgo presents Fueling Good Fridays. Hit the weekend feeling good with Citgo Tri-Clean Gas.
Groove 93, is this Paula Walker?
Yes.
Hey, Paula, how are you?
I'm great.
I'm great, too. It's Friday. You know what that means.
Yes.
We are wanting to give away some of these gas cards today from Citgo. Do you know the phrase that pays?
I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling good. All right. That means we are on to the next step. You can choose 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which one would you like?
3.
Number 3. All right. She's like, I am sure about that number. That's a favorite number for you. So let's see what you got in number 3. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Envelope number 3. All right, Paula. Not too bad. We have $50. You have a $50. Yeah, she said, I can do that. I can do that. There you go. All right, we have $50 for you. Citgo gas card. So enjoy yourself. And
thank you.
You can save that money for something else and, just have a good time. So congratulations. Tell me what station just made you a winner.
93.5.
We are making your weekends feel good with Fueling Good Fridays. We are Groove 93. We return you now to Pep Talk. Everyone needs one with Lerone, Coach Jennings, and Brian Smith.
Even when you look this way, you turn. Keep All right, Chattanooga, welcome back to Pep Talk. This is Lerone, Coach Jennings, with my co-host, Brian Smith. And we appreciate you staying with us and enjoying the Pep Talk Parent Education Program to take all of us working together to parent the city. And this is part of the vision of Mayor Andy Burke. And we are glad that you're part of this vision as well, working together to make a difference for our youth and family, and just working to do it. And we're glad you're here. And we got something great for you, continuing with our parent education program. This segment, what you got coming up, Brian?
Well, Coach, that was a great segment that we had there for our very first quarter there, hearing from the folks at the Hamilton County Health Department, and especially the TENNderCare Program. And I tell you what, with a lot of the programs that we have here in the city of Chattanooga, it's your call to take advantage of those programs. They're out there for you, and they're outstanding, and they are certainly going to get you on your way. But before we welcome in our next guest here, Coach, as we kick off here for the second quarter, we like to start off with Coach's Action Play, a call to action, if you will. You ready?
We're ready.
All right, let's roll that footage.
Time for this week's Action Play.
Let's go! Come on!
Hey, you got to keep planning your future. If you don't plan, you just really don't get things done, and you don't know what direction you're going. So we want to make sure that we encourage you out there, young, old, and in between. Keep planning your future. Let me give you some tips about planning. If you're planning for a year, you want to plant vegetables. And if you're planning for a decade, you want to plant some fruit trees, Brian. If you're planning for a lifetime, you really need to educate people. And that's what we're really all about in youth and family development. We're looking for a lifetime, generation after generation. We're trying to educate this generation so they may educate generations to come. So let's plan on doing that. What about your plan? Are you planning on learning and being educated now so you can help us educate others for generations to come? Let's get it done. Let's take action right now. Get in the game. Let's do it together.
I love that one there. That's an outstanding one. Great action play here as we roll right into the second quarter of PEP Talk, Parent Education Programming. And this is an exciting program that I learned about as soon as we sort of switched the departments around. And I remember coming to this young lady and saying, the Foster Grandparent Program, is that kind of a program where, children go to live with their grandparents and they become foster grandparents? And boy, does she stop me in my tracks and say, absolutely not. That's wonderful. But what we do, well, we have volunteers that serve hundreds of kids and hundreds of volunteers that do so. And it's our pleasure to welcome Billy Wright, who's joining us with the City of Chattanooga's Foster Grandparent Program. And there are a lot of schools out there that utilize this service, and sometimes you see these grandparents in these big bright red coats, and they are making a difference out there. And Billy, we appreciate you joining us here this evening, and I've had a great time following you around, meeting some of these grandparents who are volunteering up to 20 hours a week, and that's no easy job.
Well, you've been a great help at getting the word out about what the foster grandparents do, and it's always a pleasure to share their success stories and share the passion that they have for what they do.
Tell us a little bit about what the Foster Grandparent Program is really all about, Billy, for our listening audience. There's some of us out there that really don't know about it. So take a few minutes to educate us and let them know what it's all about.
Well, you were talking about intentional living, and that is exactly what the foster grandparents are doing. They've made a decision to go out into the community and help special needs children. We're a federal grant program that is authorized by the Domestic Volunteer Service Act of 1973. The program was started on a national level in 1965 and was started locally in 1980 with just 15 volunteers and has grown to its current status of 105 volunteers.
Wow. That's awesome. And what is the qualifications? What do you have to do to be a foster grandparent?
Well, first of all, we would like for them to have a passion for working with children and wanting to help children reach their full potential. But we are a federal grant program, as I mentioned, under the Corporation for National and Community Service. And there are eligibility requirements, including age of 55 or above, residency. You have to live in our service area, which includes Hamilton, Bradley, and McMinn counties. And it is a program that's set up for low-income seniors. Your income cannot be more than 200% of the poverty guidelines, and that's based on the number of people in your household. You have to pass a physical exam initially, and then once a year, just saying that you are fit for duty, and a TB test initially, and then every 2 years. Most importantly, though, is a fingerprint background check. You must receive satisfactory results from that background check before we allow the volunteers to go into the classroom and serve with the children. And you also have to agree to abide by the Code of Ethics and the policy and procedures of the program.
Yeah. It's so good seeing all the grandparents working so diligently and faithfully around the children. And that's intergenerational as well, seeing the elder seniors working with the children and so well and enjoying it so much. And that really makes a difference, too. A lot of people thought or think that can't happen successfully, but the Foster Grandparent Program proves them wrong.
Well, and a lot of children don't have that intergenerational contact anymore.
Yeah.
So this is especially important. It does provide that connection between the generations. And the foster grandparents love it because of all the social interaction it gives them. Sometimes foster grandparents or seniors in general are isolated.
Yeah.
They don't have a means of communication, a means of transportation to go places and be involved with other people. So that social contact is a very important part of their service.
What is the oldest you have in the program? Do you know? You remember?
I believe our oldest one is 86.
Wow.
The average age of our volunteers is 70. So you have to be 55, and we do have quite a few people who are around that age range, but a lot of our volunteers are just older, and they want to be involved and engaged in the community, and they love children. When I go to see them at the sites, they just light up when they talk about the children.
And what kind of sites? Are they mostly at the schools and daycares, and what various sites do you place them at?
Well, we do serve in schools and Head Start and early Head Start centers, also special education departments and child care programs, also mentoring sites. Some of the sites that we currently have volunteers placed at are Red Bank Elementary, Hillcrest Elementary, Hardy, Woodmore. Some of the child care programs that we're involved in are, of course, the Youth and Family Development Daycare and Little Miss Mag, Maurice Kirby. It's very widespread. We have about 36 different sites. We also have some mentoring sites, which include Crisis Resource Center and Children's Hospital. I drew a blank for a minute.
Yeah.
Children's Hospital at Erlanger. That's a very important site for us.
What gives you the greatest joy seeing them? Maybe a success story that just tugs at your heart and bring such joy, tears of joy to your spirit.
The part I've enjoyed most about my job is probably the site visits. We perform a site visit once a year at all of the sites, and when I'm able to go out into the sites and see the foster grandparents directly working with the children and how much joy it brings to them, that really warms my heart and reminds me why I go to work every day.
Yeah.
But one specific case is foster grandparent Rebecca Elsie. She worked with a little boy named Michael from the time he entered kindergarten through graduation in 5th grade. And Michael had multiple disabilities, and Miss Elsie just hung in there with him and was able to help him participate when he probably would not have been able to had she not provided that one-on-one care. So it's just an amazing story. I think hopefully a lot of our listeners saw the article in the News Free Press, but it's a wonderful story about the bond between those two and how she was able to help him and even helped him when he made his first step, his first physical step. She was right there beside him.
Yeah.
And of course, the story continues with her because he is, I guess, going into the next grade, which will be in a different school that Rebecca's not going to be at. But instead of just being heartbroken, she wants to continue on and mentor someone else.
Absolutely, and she's already been assigned another child. And typically she spends her time with just one child because the special needs are so great in the department there at Red Bank Elementary. But she at first thought she wouldn't be able to continue because she just fell in love with Michael and had put all of her energy into that. But that relationship. But she has since discovered that she has love to go around.
Wow. Our foster grandparents are helping us parent the city. Absolutely. As well, and our hats are off to all of them. And as you lead this program, things happen and rises and fall with great leadership, Billy. And we want to thank you for your commitment. It's more than a job for you. As I work with you and see you every day, we see the joy and the commitment and the passion you bring to working with our foster grandparents. And we want to thank you for this. Those out there that's listening that may want to get involved, how do they do that? Is there room for growth and others to be involved? And if so, how does that happen?
Absolutely. I do love this program. I fell in love with the foster grandparents when I started to work part-time and decided to stay, and I've been with it for about a little over 9 years now. We always have room for the program to grow. We are federally funded through the Corporation for National and Community Service, but we're sponsored locally by the Department of Youth and Family Development. If there are any listeners who are interested in finding out more about our program, you can call 423-757-5509. And we would be happy to talk with you and get an application out to you so that you can apply for the program.
And one quick thing here, Billy. I'm just kind of flipping through some of the wonderful notes here that you have, and I learn more just about each and every day here. And you have based on performance measurements from child care plan assessments here, and you've got these great stats here about improving literacy skills, cognitive skills, and so on and so forth. Kind of explain, a little bit about some of those numbers, because we've talked about the emotional bonds that are there, but they're also making a great difference with education and much more, really assisting our teachers out there.
Right. I think a lot of the social emotional development that we see really helps the children form relationships with their peers and with adults, and that helps them succeed in school and in life and later in jobs, because relationships are what life is all about. But when the foster grandparents are assigned to the children, there's an assessment tool that is used. It's called a child care plan assessment. And once a child has been identified as having special needs, the foster grandparents sit down with the classroom teacher and identify certain activities that they're going to help the children with to help them reach their end-of-the-year goals. And then these statistics provide the outcomes of those activities. 59% of the children assisted improved cognitive skills, and 55% improved in literacy skills, 69% improved in language and communication skills. So you can see there's a ripple effect that takes place.
And I think one last thing here, and I'm just going to call the guys out, because I noticed when I've gone to some of the meetings here and some of the gatherings here, and of course you're having a great recognition coming up here next week that will feature Miss Tennessee, but we'll talk about that in a second. But when I've seen and looked over the landscape of all the foster grandparents, I only see one or two gentlemen out there, but this is a program that they can be a part of as well, as long as they're 55 years. And, for a lot of these kids, they don't have that father figure, and this can be that father or grandfather figure too.
Absolutely. For years, we only had one gentleman who served in our program. His name was Roosevelt Smith. He served at Gardner House Youth Shelter and did a fabulous job. Right now, we have two gentlemen who serve in our program, and we have 103 females who serve in our program.
Wow.
So we are in need of male leadership.
What if those guys get picked on by all the ladies?
The ladies are really excited to have the men in the program, because I think we all realize that male leadership is needed.
All right, guys, I hope you're out there listening, and we're going to challenge you to give Billy a call. Give him that number again, Billy, out there.
It's 423-757-5509.
And I mentioned real quickly here, and I know this is not open to the public, but it's still worth mentioning that you're going to have a great recognition banquet that's happening next week here, and you were invited, Miss Tennessee, to come down and talk. And, it's great that Miss Tennessee is coming, but why her?
Well, she is Governor Haslam's official representative of the Character Trait Program, and her focus is on trustworthiness. We also have a Be of Good Character program that we have developed through the Foster Grandparent Program, and so we just felt like that was a really great tie-in.
Sure.
She focuses mostly on trustworthiness, and she'll be talking about that, but we focus on 6 different traits.
All right. Well, it's an exciting program, and I'll be happy to be out there as well, not just to get a picture of Miss Tennessee and myself, but, obviously to hear what she has to say as well. Well, Billy, we do appreciate you joining us here this evening here on PEP Talk.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks again, Billy. You do a great job, and you got a lot of information that you're sharing with the community. And I tell you, I always get fired up when I go around the youth, the students there in the building, and our child care program, and we see all the grannies. All of them are called Granny, and
That's true.
all of them answer to Granny. And that's so exciting, and they always take care of me. All of them try to feed me every day. I don't have to worry about food. I have to dodge.
Maybe it wasn't Thanksgiving that was making you full last week. It's the grannies.
All right. Hey, well, we appreciate it. Keep up the good work. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
And great shout out to all the foster grandparents in the city of Chattanooga and beyond. All the counties are around that's serving in this great program. Hey, you're listening to Pep Talk. We're going to have to go to break. And this is Lerone Coach Jennings with co-host Brian Smith. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that
Groove 93 and Sitco presents Fueling Good Fridays. Hit the weekend feeling good with Sitco Tri-Clean Gas.
Hi, can I speak with Dee, please?
It's Dee.
Hey, Dee, how you doing on this Friday?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling real good.
All right. Well, she kind of knows what's going on now. Dee, it is Fueling Good Fridays, and we are making calls today, and we are making winners. So all I need to do is get you to tell me the phrase that pays, and we'll be on our way to winning.
I'm feeling good.
I am feeling good. Yes, ma'am. That is correct. All right. So now we're going to give you a chance to win anywhere from $5 to $100 in Citgo gas cards. Choose an envelope between 1 and 4.
Number 4.
Number 4. Okay. Dee, could you use $40 in gas for the weekend?
Yes, I sure can.
Yes, we can. All right. Well, we have $40 for you in Citgo gas, and have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself, and you can use that $40 for something else this weekend. So thank you so much for listening, of course. And tell me what station just made you feel good on this Friday.
Groove 93.
We are making your weekends feel good with Fueling Good Fridays. We are Groove 93.
Recently on the Tom Joyner Morning Show. And on the phone to talk about her reaction to Crazy Sexy Cool, the TLC story, is the one and only Pebbles.
Is there anything in there in the movie that you saw that you want to clarify right now?
I keep telling you guys, a lot of it is not true. But you
every
better
time you
believe
do an
in
interview,
you.
you always say you can't speak to it, and you come
Well,
on the interview to speak.
If I were you guys, I would have called me in the afternoon.
But
because
I knew we were calling you in the morning.
It's the morning show.
And now, back to Pep Talk. Everyone needs one with Lerone Coach Jennings and Brian Smith.
Old school.
All right, welcome back to Pep Talk and Parent Education Program. A great show here so far this evening. Would you there agree there, Coach?
Absolutely. Welcome back, our listening audience, to Pep Talk. We're hanging in there. We're winding down.
Yes, we are. And we're heading into the third quarter here of Pep Talk. And usually around the third quarter, we like to introduce one of our quarterbacks. That would be a facility manager that is out there in the field working hard for us. And also happens to bring in a couple of great students. And that is just the case for this evening, as we are joined by Butch Leftwich from the Washington Hills Youth and Family Development Center. That is all the way out there on Highway 58, but serving a great community. He's been doing it for quite a long time. And Butch, we appreciate you joining us here this evening. And before we get to the two important young ladies that you brought in with you this evening, tell us a little bit about what's going on out there at Washington Hills.
Brad, we're just about on Saturday from 3 o'clock to 7. We got our neighborhood Christmas party dinners that will be up here.
Wow.
Mainly our seniors in the neighborhood. They have one every year, and we will be having it this Saturday from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock.
All right. And you guys have an outstanding Lexia program that you've been doing there with Shanika. I know, kind of heading up that a little bit. Tell us your little success there.
Yes, well, it's been a pleasure working with these kids. We had one girl who complete our program the other day, and we also have a group, the Lakeside first graders. We had a showcase for them to come in, and they're going to do theirs. Starting with quite a while. They're first grade students. We will. Shanika will be going up to Lakeside. Mm-hmm. Spend a couple hours in that lab, helping them to get started with their lecture program up there.
All right. Have y'all started that line dancing program yet, Butch?
We're trying to get it started with the Shanika's working on it. She's got with Denisha and Kiyosha, my daughters, over at Glenwood and Brennan about getting it started. I've got it's more like a boot camp going with our adults every Wednesday and Thursday night from 7 to 8.
Okay, Clarence Williams working with you on it?
Yes, he's getting with us too.
Oh, he's tough.
All right.
Well, Butch, you've got two young ladies here this evening that made a very important day of themselves by signing to go to the same college together, which I find very interesting, but both with softball scholarships. And I want to have you introduce both of the young ladies, and we're looking forward to talking to them. And they might be bashful, you might be bashful, but I'll go ahead and say it. They came to you to learn how to play softball way back then, and now look at them now. Butch, who do you have with us tonight?
Okay, I have Jermonte Greer and Kiara Suttles. You know, they started playing with me at the age of 9-year-old, the first age for the fast pitch where the girls pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they've been a blessing for my program up here. I've also had them during the summer to do our teen leadership program where they came in and did numerous hours of volunteer hours up here at the center. And it's been a great pleasure for me to have them to be part of our program. As far as softball, they've been with me from I guess they were 9 and 10 all the way up through 15.
All right. Well, first, let us thank you, Butch, for your leadership in helping these young ladies and many other young people get their start there in that community there at that center. And to see them grow up under your tutelage and now sign scholarship to attend Southern University is a great accomplishment. And we want to thank you for your leadership and congratulate them, Jermonte and Kiara.
Yeah.
Congratulate you all. And I understand, Jermonte, you're the daughter of Michael Greer. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
All right. He's a superstar that I coached back in the day. Did you know your father was a legend too?
He ceased to remind me.
He's a great athlete. I can attest to that. He's one of my guys, so I can tell you're a chip off the block. Being a great athlete too. So congratulations. Tell us what you what you all like about being there, growing up in the center there under Coach Leffler's tutelage. What did you all enjoy the most, and what have you received from that leadership the most?
I enjoyed every bit of it. Coming up here during the summers and volunteering, working with the children, I liked it mostly because I like children, and I got a sense of working with them and knowing how to deal with them and talk to them. And just with Coach Butch coaching me for most of my softball career, he has taught me a lot, he's taught me a lot, life lessons, everything.
That's great. What about you, Kiara?
My favorite part was knowing that I grew up over here in Washington Hills and having the same ability to teach these kids the same thing I was taught. Like Jermonte said, working with the kids during the camp, I love kids and I love watching them grow up, especially as each summer I work here. And then while they're playing sports, I teach them the same things that I was learned, even in different sports, and they all tend to like it. And I love teaching kids.
Yeah. How much emphasis did Coach put on your academics, making sure your grades was up to par?
A lot.
Yeah, they kept constantly telling us grades first.
Your
softball second to grades.
You're a student athlete first.
Yeah. that's good stuff, and that's the kind of thing that's going to get you through college too. And we want to keep pushing you guys. You never know what you're going to end up doing with young people, teaching them. Have you all decided what you're going to pursue in your college career?
I'm still working on that. I know kind of along the line where I want to go with it, but I'm not really sure which major yet.
Okay. What about you, Kiara?
I want to go into sociology and work as maybe a guidance counselor or a social worker, but either one will be me.
All right, that's great. Before we go, I want you to talk to the young people out there that's listening. Give them some words of wisdom, and then I want you to talk to the parents, encourage the parents out there what they need to continue to do to help our youth in the city.
Well, what I have to say to the kids is stay in school, stay in your grades, especially if sports come easy, then you shouldn't have to focus more on that, but focus more in school and make sure your grades are correct first. And to the parents, if your kids are telling you that they want to play something, help them and encourage them to do what they want in that sport or whatever they like to do, because if the kids like it, then they will go far in it. And if they want to go far in it, they will pursue it. And they do need a parent's word to help them, and it does help.
All right.
To the kids, I would like to say, like Kiara said, education, get your grades first. Then to the parents, I would like to say, encourage the kids. Don't stop. Just help them see what they want to do, help them pursue it. Just keep loving them.
All right. You all finished strong over there at CSAS. I'm one of the founding teachers of that school. And back in 1986, I was one of the first teachers to get that school started over there. And we believe in the philosophy of the school. So y'all keep up the good work, finish strong, go on to college, and hopefully you can come back to Chattanooga and help us to continue to make this city great, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Ladies, before you go, I got one quick question here, and I think I have it in my notes. Is it Kiara that signed her letter of intent there at Washington Hills?
Yes.
Okay. First off, thank you for doing it at Washington Hills and signing where it all started, and we appreciate that, because that says a lot about our centers and what Butch has done, and also where you have come from and where you're going as well. So we greatly appreciate for you thinking of us and keeping our department in mind. That was very honorable of you.
You're very welcome.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate you joining us here this evening, and it's always a pleasure to hear from our quarterbacks. And again, Butch Leftwich out there at Washington Hills, just off of Highway 58, off of Oakwood Drive there in the Harrison community. Stop by. Great programs, great exercise programs during the week, and of course, great youth programs as well. And Coach, we only have a few minutes left here of Pep Talk, and this is usually where we enter into the fourth quarter, but this is almost like a sudden death here. And just a couple of quick announcements here with the Department of Youth and Family Development. And number one is that all of our centers, all of our locations have gone back to normal hours for this week. And of course, that does include our 17 youth and family development centers. And even though it's gotten dark so quick, our centers are open until 8 o'clock this evening. And when it's cold and dreary, like a day like today, it's great to stop by our centers for the free homework help, the literacy programs that we have, and of course, the winter sports as we're getting ready to start up the basketball season here in just a couple of weeks. And the other thing, too, I want folks to recognize some of our teens that are part of our CAP program. These are 25 young males that we are turning into ambassadors here for the city of Chattanooga. They are going to be hitting the streets literally at two upcoming parades. The first one's the Main by 24 parade that's happening this Saturday on Main Street at 11 o'clock. And, you know, we're used to passing out candy this time of the year, but these boys are actually going to pass out free books for kids, and that's going to serve two purposes. Obviously to encourage how important reading is, but to reinforce how important reading is to them as they become leaders and mentors themselves. And they're also going to be back out for the Starlight Starlight Parade, which is going to be happening in downtown Chattanooga there on Market Street. That is going to happen on December 14th, and they're going to walk the entire route handing out free books to children. What a great and wonderful asset that they are, and a great message that they will be passing here during the holiday season. So we appreciate Gary Rudolph and the rest of the group there with the CAP program, Chattanooga Ambassadors Program, and these 25 teens from several several schools and communities in our area. And of course, for more information and more events and weekly activities, you can always go to our website. That is ChattanoogaYouthAndFamily.com. On the left-hand side there, you'll see some information that says weekly events and activities. Click on that for the latest top 10. And Coach, just really a couple minutes left here, and we like to wrap up the fourth quarter with your closing play and some final thoughts coming from you.
All right. We want to encourage our listening audience out there to continue to pursue your reading skills, and not only to pursue them, curiosity is important. There's a book laying around somewhere in your house, on your desk, in your church, and be curious about it and pick it up and open it and see what's in it. Read it. Learn to read so you can read to learn, and let your curiosity cause you to open that book and get you some knowledge. Hey, this is Lerone Coach Jennings. You've been listening to Pep Talk, and we hope you got some encouragement today.
All
hey,
right.
Brian.
Yeah, great show this evening. And folks, we know that a lot of people tune in maybe a little bit after 7 o'clock or around 7:30 and don't get a chance to catch the entire show. We do want to remind you that we do put this in digital format so that you can download and listen at any time that you want. And, of course, you can find that download, again, at our webpage, ChattanoogaYouthAndFamily.com, as well as our Facebook pages, Chattanooga Youth and Family. And, of course, we're on Twitter. That is at CHA Youth Family. So great show. We appreciate the guests coming in tonight from Hamilton County Health Department, as well as Billy from the Foster Grandparent Program. And I believe next week here we have your friend, Mr. Wade Hinton, who's going to be stopping by and talking with us here from the city of Chattanooga. So great show this evening, and we appreciate everyone joining us here for Pep Talk.
All right. We appreciate you tuning in. We're tuning out.
You have been listening to Pep Talk with Coach Lerone Jennings and Brian Smith. Brought to you by the City of Chattanooga, Department of Youth and Family Development. Creating ways for everyone to help parent the city.
We gotta change it, just you and me.